Hi, Nick. Welcome to the Ceres podcast.
Hi, Stelios. Good morning.
So, Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself and Preoday.
Hi, I'm Nick Hucker. I'm the CEO of Preoday. We're part of a large technology company called QuickServe. And in a nutshell, Preoday's been delivering digital ordering solutions for the hospitality industry for about 5 years now, 5.5 years. And we specialize in enabling brands to get to customers through digital channels, whether it's app or web. I've spent most of my life in technology and technology solutions, but I've spent the last 3 years looking after large hospitality businesses, but also smart independent brands. So that's basically what we do for a living. And obviously, we've tried to respond to what is happening in this current craziness that we have.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit crazy. Since the pandemic hit, what's it been like at Preoday?
So it's been a mixture of calls of people in complete despair saying, what's going to happen to my business? How quickly can you help me? And also operators just saying, I need to have a digital channel as quickly as possible. I need to enable click and collect and delivery. How can you help? So it's really been quite an unprecedented time. The team and I have been working 14, 15-hour days, just trying to help people get up and running as quickly as possible to help them generate revenue for their businesses and keep the lights on. So,
Have you seen a massive upturn in people that want to jump onto click and collect?
Yeah, I mean, we are literally inundated with people, and people are just desperate to get this up and running as fast as possible. So, when you were saying, well, how's our week been? We've completely changed our commercial model overnight. We've changed the way we operate overnight. And we are trying to get restaurants up and running with a digital click and collect service in under 48 hours.
Wow.
So in times gone by, we would have said you need to think about this over a 2 to 4 week period to make the best launch possible. We've cut it right back and we're basically standing up customers in 48 hours. And enabling them. And I think, Stelios, it sounds like I'm sort of giving you a pitch here, but actually this is our attempt to do our level best to help operators get a digital channel, get people up and running, help them save their businesses. I really believe it quite passionately.
So what was say before when they were doing this over 2 to 4 weeks and now you're doing it in 48 hours, what's the difference? What's took a sideline and what's took a priority? Because obviously it's not the whole thing that they're getting in 48 hours, but they'll get the rest of it later on, I guess. So what's been prioritized and what's sort of been put to the side?
So normally we would stand up an independent fish and chip restaurant over a course of 2 to 4 weeks by giving them an app and web orders. And the app store can take upwards of 2 to 3 weeks to get a customer live. So what we've done is strip that right back. So basically, to enable us to get a customer up and running in 48 hours, we are just simply doing web ordering. And what that means is you can embed it into your website. People can go directly to a link and they can then place a click and collect order or a delivery order. And basically, we've stripped away the app side of things and just made it as clean and simple as possible. And then we partnered up with all of our POS partners and they're offering the same level of service as well. So really it's, let's get this up and running as fast as possible and strip away the app side of things. It takes too long.
And then all the other bits that come later on, like the app stuff, that can just come later on when you're not under a time pressure.
Correct. At the moment, let's just get revenue into your business. Let's help you sustain and get going and build customers and help your customers that you're interacting with and were interacting with, get them to your operation.
That sounds like it's interesting. It sounds like it would have been quite a big deal for you guys to sort of change things around last minute as well. So
yeah, it's a massive change for us as a business to sort of shift the way we operate. But we had a call. I think it was late on Monday night, and then we spoke again on the Tuesday morning, and we just basically said, "Look, we don't have an option here. This is what we need to do if we are going to support the industry we love."
So obviously, the short-term rush, everyone's getting onto click and collect and delivery platforms. What pointers can you think of that also help people get it right over the long term?
So I think over the long term, one of the key things, and it's been always the tenet of our business, is you've got to own the data. So I want to know who's coming in, clicking and collecting from my operation. And I also want to reward people for coming directly to my operation. So if I am a regular customer of a particular fish and chip shop, that fish and chip shop should know that Nick comes in every Friday, or Nick is, looking to click and collect on a regular basis from my operation, and I can then reward them. So I can discount, I can incentivize. So to me, the key is having a direct transaction between you and customer X who already loves your brand.
Yeah. And I think also, sorry to interject there. I think I just wanted to clarify that, because that's one of the key things here, is that the difference between, let's say, a Preoday type software and your aggregators is that you're not getting involved in any part of the transaction. You're allowing people to sort of be, to actually just deal with a customer. So it's like an A and B situation, not an A, B, and C situation.
That is exactly right. So our platform is designed to support the operations of fish and chip operators all over the UK and indeed all over Europe and the world. But ultimately, it's a direct transaction between the customer and the operator. We are just simply enablers. So we don't charge commission fees on each transaction. We just charge a flat monthly fee. The tech has been built over the best part of 5 years to manage this exact process. And ultimately, we give you your data so you can interact directly with the customer. So that's the key parts of our business, really. And what we think in this current environment can really help an operator.
A friend of mine recently told me that he emailed me yesterday and said that just looking back on the last week alone, he's noticed that takeaway business is slightly down, delivery business is slightly down, but click and collect is up. What do you put that down to?
So I think, first of all, people are actively making decisions to support their local businesses. So, I see it where I live in the Southwest. People are actively making decisions that they still want to buy food from a particular operator. So how can I get to that food, and how can I help that operator survive this extreme period that we're going through? So I think the ability to provide a click and collect service directly with that organization is absolutely crucial. I think it's driving click and collect. I certainly see it with all the local operators around here, and we're receiving the same sort of feedback across our client base, is that I want to buy food from company X, I want to go direct to company X, but also company X is then probably going to give me a discount for coming direct to them. So I think it's a combination of that. People are thinking locally and supporting locally. So therefore, I want to go direct to that organization and I want to click and collect.
And one thing that I've seen a lot lately is that there seems to be a lot of power in the hands of aggregators, and there seem to be, and not that I dislike them, it's just that obviously some people see them as the easy option, and they've done a lot of new sign-ups, but they're also doing, commission free month or commission free for a little bit of time, but what's free usually costs money down the line. What's your thoughts on this?
I think desperate times require desperate measures. I would say to any operator, you should go at all channels. So I would not ignore any channel at this point. But I would think that ultimately, don't forget, your data and your customers are what you spent years building up, and what people are buying is your brand. So I would be circumspect around letting those organizations have my customer data in the long run. But at this stage, multiple channels, you've got to hit as many as you possibly can to get the customers through the door digitally.
And I suppose in one way where people could benefit with a software package like Preoday is that they could be using those aggregators and then, do what you got to do short term, and then medium to long term, try and transfer people over to their own app.
That is exactly one way of looking at it. And I think longer term, you can do that by incentivizing people to come directly through your app or your web orders. At the moment, a lot of my operators are, for example, on their click and collect services, providing just a mandatory 15% for vulnerable people and NHS and key workers. And that's at their discretion to apply that whenever they want and how often they want. And I think the ability to control how you interact with customers, even over these crazy periods, is critical to the success of your business.
Yeah.
Discretion with our platform.
One thing that I've been sort of thinking lately with this influx of customers for you guys, for aggregators, for everybody, does that put pressure on your servers, on your software, or is this sort of bolted down a bit? Are you ready for this?
Well, good question. We designed our technology specifically to cope with many thousands of sites being on the platform. And as it currently stands, we're supporting about 630 client sites in 11 countries. But the platform was built to scale up to multiple thousands.
Okay.
From that perspective, we're comfortable. It was designed to scale massively. So the tech is designed to last and to work at scale. So, I'm very comfortable that we will be able to stand people up as quickly as possible.
So I take it you guys, Preoday, that is, you own the complete app, you developed it from scratch. It's not like a bolt on to something else.
No, it's our technology built and designed by my CTO, who has a background in building large systems for financial services companies. So that means that we built something that was really designed to work at massive scale. But more importantly, it's just designed to support an operator in the best way possible. So in effect, we are giving them access to tech that costs many millions to develop. But they pay us obviously just to have access, and that platform then supports them. But, most importantly, as you and I have discussed before, Stelios, your brand is in front of the customer. Preoday doesn't appear anywhere.
Yeah. And do you think, what are your thoughts on how this is going to shape the sort of hospitality industry moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we some of our operators are talking about, what's going to be the outcome of this in 2-3 months' time, and how will it change the industry? And I think, people will have to offer all of these channels going forward, whether they like it or not, unfortunately, because I think social distancing and what is happening now will impact the whole hospitality industry. So the rise of a digital solution and the ability to do click and collect, multiple delivery operators, the ability for me to recognize customers coming through and interacting with my business, all of these things will become just a prerequisite. I, as a consumer, will expect to be able to either get it click and collect, delivered. I want to be able to go through any channel I choose. And I think those businesses that don't get on board with this will face even worse challenges in 2 or 3 months' time.
Yeah, it's almost like this affects, whether it's hygiene, whether it's, the whole coronavirus issue. It's almost like it's forcing everyone to step up to the game in terms of the whole tech side, really.
It absolutely is. And I think, a lot of that is these solutions do exist, and operators sometimes have been, put off by the fact that they don't need this sort of solution. I think, unfortunately, the change that is coming with everything that's happening with COVID means you're just going to have to adopt these. And then it becomes a question of how does it best represent your company, your brand, and enable you to get to the customers you spent 15, 20 years building up.
Definitely. Well, Nick, I just want to say, thanks for your time, especially on a weekend. And I hope that you don't get too inundated with work, but that's obviously a good thing at the same time. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Stelios. I think, last thing I'd say is my whole team are working the whole weekend. We're going to be working flat out because at the end of the day, if we can help operators in this really tough time, that's what we're here to do. And it's certainly our commitment to the industry to try and get people up and running and taking click and collect services.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Nick.
Cheers, Stelios.